What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super. I am one of your hosts, Spider, and I am joined by Mr. VIP, Frankie Washington. How are you doing today, sir?
I am awesome. Thought I'd bring it back.
Oh, back to the
Remember
roots.
that?
Back to the
Yeah,
roots.
sometimes you got to take it back to the roots of the tutor. Back in the days, right? How are you, sir?
Wonderful.
If that's your catchphrase, it's okay. Wubba dubba. Well, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Rick and Morty, baby. Oh, you got it in the intro. Do it.
So if you don't know what All Things Super is, every week, multiple times a week, as a matter of fact, we take a piece of superpowered movie, TV shows, trailers. We react to it, we watch it, we break it down, we review it, and we ask the question, is it super?
Is it?
We can try to figure that out. But if you like that, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that go out. If you want the audio version of the podcast, you can search for All Things Super on your major podcast streaming platforms. And if you want to join in on the conversation, you can tweet at us at ATSuperPod.
Don't be tweeting at me. That sounds deadly. That sounds dangerous. Tweedledee. Anyway, Spider, we're back. We're back, baby. We're back, baby. Yeah, it's your favorite podcast guys. Those guys. Them guys. What are they talking about? Who knows? If you're here for it, you're here for it. If not, you're probably going to keep scrolling or wonder why they suggest this to you. But probably one of the most popular things that's on YouTube right now. I'm just throwing it out there. Shh. Tell everybody.
Don't say anything, but tell everybody.
Yeah, well, that's our secret spread, right? We're talking about Rick and Morty, baby. It's anybody's ball game, but we're still going to get in the episode. But we got to keep that little monologue in the front. That's what we are, different. So Rick and Morty is back. I am so excited about seeing Rick and Morty, and I was wondering where were they going to go after we just got all this juicy story tie-in. I'm like, okay, now that happened, where are we going? Are we going to follow the storyline, or are we going to get more episodic shows of Rick and Morty? We get them both. Lucky us. Thanks, Dan. You see Dan at the thingy with the thing. Clearly, Dan's busy. We start out the episode. We hear Morty, right? And then we hear Morty again, right? Now, we fans of the show know Justin Roiland does the voices of Rick and Morty, so it kind of doesn't take us as off guard, as off-putting as it will be instantly. But I was watching, the missus was walking by, it's like, they got the same voice. I'm like, yeah, it's Justin Roiland. He does the voice of Rick and Morty. He's super talented, man, and it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay. But come to find out, it wasn't okay. We see Morty was trapped in Roy, the virtual reality game that we've seen in episodes such and such and so and so on earlier seasons of Rick and Morty at Blitz and Chips. So now we're like, whoa, what happened? And we get Summer and Rick talking about these guys are taking over Blips and Chips, and Rick's trying to get Morty out the game and tells her to Die Hard in it. I love Die Hard, by the way, one of my favorite movies. It's like, to get this comparison, she had no idea what Die Hard was. She's like, how do I know what Die Hard is? Like, crawl through the vents, just do some Die Hard shit. And she's screaming, Die Hard, Die Hard, Die Hard. This episode was so crazy. She's like, has she seen Die Hard? I don't think she saw it. Then she comes in, she's not supposed to do that. Forget everything you know about Die Hard. It was so creative because it was so, okay, we're in the Die Hard trope. We're following the Die Hard trope. No, all Die Hard tropes out the door. Just take it out the door. And then we came right back to the Die Hard tropes again. And it was like, okay, now we're doing them again. And just, it was such a refreshing, enjoyable sequence to see. You're making that look like you're waiting for someone to come through saying die hard, die hard. Talked about how Summer is the one. Summer is so special because, again, in Rick's universe or the C-137 universe, Summer wasn't born. She didn't exist. Diane died and Bette died, so Summer or Morty couldn't be born. So they have to have so much significance in the universe for Rick to care about them. And clearly we got away from the trope of Rick not caring to Rick actually cares. It was one of the underlying themes because he was a nihilist. He didn't really believe in anything and everything was whatever, just focus on science and don't worry about love. And he was just going through the cosmos. It wasn't until later seasons that we see he's really a hurt man dealing with trauma. He lost his wife. He tried to kind of move on. The only person that he actually really had feelings for was Unity.
Yeah.
And then again, he can't have unity. He can't have his wife. He can't have solace. He can't have happiness. He got his daughter, but he's a horrible father. He cloned her. Oh my God. It's like one of the most troubling guys that you've seen in this show. But at the same time, instead of thinking that he doesn't love his family, he actually does, even Space Vet. But the weird thing is, he won't tell Morty he loves him. You know what? I apologize, guys. This is my fault. This is my fault.
That's all making the face.
I did not do this fair to you, and I have ruined your Rick and Morty experience episode 2. Mm-hmm. Forgive me. So let me make up my rights from wrongs and mend my offenses. I'm sorry. Spoiler warning for all those who haven't watched Rick and Morty episode 2, season 6 on Adult Swim. I'm sorry, I spoiled it for you. I talked about a lot of stuff that's in the episode. In fact, I think I started with the end first. Yeah, I ruined it for you. I apologize wholeheartedly, sincerely. I think you should know this show by now. If you watch this show, then we talk about the show. And if you don't watch the show and I spoiled it for you, I deeply apologize because I love our fans. And I want you to know you should have been watching Rick and Morty anyway. But if you decide to watch us first, then I really shouldn't be apologizing to you because you know how we get down over here. It's crazy. It's crazy. But spoiler warning for anybody who hasn't watched Rick and Morty.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, but I shouldn't be apologizing.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm apologizing, but I shouldn't be because you were a fan of the show. You know, that's how we get. Well, some people maybe was waiting for the rant.
They could have been, and you deprived them of it. You jumped into all the details.
No, I gave it to them late.
You gave it to them late. Gave it to them late. It was
better late than never, baby.
I don't know.
That's what Kanye taught me that.
Late pizza is cold. Late pizza is cold. It's not as good. Hot fresh.
So where are you that you can't rewarm your pizza? Are you camping?
But it's different when you reheat it. You can't. It's
cheese is no longer melty.
When you want the pizza, when you want it and you get it, and you want to immediately eat it. You want to dive into it as soon as it get there. You don't want to get it and then be like, "Damn, it's cold." Now I have to reheat it.
That's how you burn your mouth right there. That pizza man saved your mouth.
Nope. Nobody wants cold pizza.
What about the people that eat cold pizza in the morning from leftovers?
Nobody wants room temperature pizza.
That's exactly what it is.
Nobody wants room temperature pizza. Either you want your pizza hot or you want your pizza cold. Nobody wants room temperature pizza.
What about in Rick and Morty when they went to that pizza dimension where everybody was a pizza?
I'm pretty sure it was probably hot.
The people? Because weren't they eating people?
I don't even remember that episode.
Rick and Morty is crazy. And I love it, dude. There's so much going on in this episode. Morty is in a gazillion terabytes, megabytes, crystals. Listen, he's broken down. Billion. Yeah, well, he's inside Roy, the digital game, as everybody. Kind of reminds you of Unity, right? When Unity took over the planet and Unity was everybody. No, okay, clearly you don't remember. So Morty has to convince himself.
Are you asking the people?
Well, I was talking to you. I was talking to all of us.
I thought you were talking to the viewers. I'm listening to what you're saying. Don't start with the Tesseract.
Listen, Morty is everybody. It reminds me of a Unity episode, but this is the difference. Instead of Unity being the hive mind, which the hive mind is, Morty is in a conflict with himself. Half of them think he's an independent, and the other half think that, he's a 14-year-old boy. And Roy is here, which has been Rick and Roy trying to convince Morty, I got to get your brain out of this thing before it gets shut down. Spoiler warning again. I don't think he got them all out. So I don't think they're still.
Well, I mean, they already said that there was at least one still left in there.
It's the young lady, right? It's the young lady that
Marta,
who shaved her hair and she wanted to be free.
Right.
Which, explain this to me. Why would she stay when she knew it was the truth and she knows that she's a 14-year-old boy?
So here's the thing. For me,
okay.
That probably, I did not like the Roy storyline part of the show. It not only, like, I understand we get episodic shows where we just jump in, the adventure's already started.
It is.
It came out of left field. It was unexpected. Not to say that it was bad, but I just felt like it didn't make sense, because normally we'll get some type of setup as to what happened. The fact that Morty was already in the machine, Rick was already in there trying to save him, and we immediately get the explanation as to what Rick is trying to do. And I feel like, for me personally, I needed that exactly what happened. I mean, not necessarily in having to go into extreme details as to what happened, but maybe show them walking into Blitz and Chits and sit down at the machine. It was like, oh, Roy, a life well lived. I remember this. And Morty puts the thing on, power surge, or something happens. Then we got the Hans Gruber and all his gang. They break in, and we go into it from there. So I don't know. I just feel like just jumping right into it and then having to go throughout the whole entire rest of the show and explaining exactly what's happening, because Rick had to explain it at least 5 times to let them know that, one, it's not a religion. Stop acting like it's a new religion. I'm not trying to induct you all into a cult. It's not a religion.
Well, it kind of was, though, right? He's from another dimension and saying there's another dimension on the other side where you're not who you are. You can be free here, or you can die here.
Yeah, but
it kind of was like a religion.
It's not a religion in the sense that he's not trying to get anybody to worship anyone, or he's not trying to get them to what's the word I'm looking for? He's not
You're
trying
asking to lead the world. It's a cult.
Well, he didn't say it wasn't a cult. He didn't say it wasn't a cult when he said it wasn't a religion. All cults are not religious.
That's a different show.
But no, I didn't really care for the Roy Life Well Lived storyline. The Die Hard part of it, it was like it was completely, even though the storylines were intertwined because they were trying to get out because they wanted to help Summer. Summer, like you said, Summer is a very capable person. Summer can hold her own. We've seen time and time again.
Morty said.
Wait, what?
That's what Morty said. Remember, Morty was talking to other Morty inside of the White House?
Yeah, and Rick said, congratulations, you just jinxed it. And I mean,
did he need to say that?
But
that's what I'm saying.
No.
Did he need to say that? Well,
no, he didn't need to say it. Right.
It's very manipulative.
But it just goes back into, like you said, Rick can't, we don't know if he can't or if he refuses to allow himself to love. But I feel like in other episodes he said that he loved Summer and Morty before.
Yeah, he said, I love my grandkids. She documented by saying that. What was that, Rick? Rick. That's what I love about the show. You don't know who you're following. They showed that with the duplicates.
Yeah.
Who knows? We could have reset this protocol. I think you're overthinking it. I think you just gotta. It's Rick and Morty, baby. You strap in and you go for the zany ride.
Nothing about me analyzing it or over analyzing it or anything. I just feel like the Roy life well lived, the storyline of it is just we jump out and we see, because we talked about the time dilation and how, you know, a minute in the real world is like 5 months inside the game. And so
and we saw that there was a time where Roy wasn't there.
Yeah, and so we every time we jump out and we watch Summer, and Summer's going through her Die Hard. She's doing a Die Hard. Die Hard. And then so we jump back into the game, and we can see obviously time has passed. Everybody's aged in the game, and it's just, I don't know. It was just so many different things, because it's like, you know, we see Marta's family, and we see Marta's dad being upset with her because she's convinced that she's a 14-year-old boy, but he's like, no, you're my daughter, and you know, you were raised Jewish, and he's like, okay, tell me one thing about. Tell me one thing about, you know, the Jewish faith, and he can't, just makes up words, and it's like that didn't go anywhere until the dad came back. And then even when the dad came back, it didn't go anywhere because the dad was gone again. And then the dad came back again when the dad was dying. And it's just like, you're introducing all these different parts in this, I don't know if it was the A storyline or the B storyline, but the A and the A storyline and the number one storyline, because I feel like they were both kind of on equal footing as to the level of importance. And then of course they connected at the end when he finally got Morty out of the game and they, you know, were back in the real world. But every time you jumped out, you go back in, and it seemed like it was just still the same issue. You still had Morty's, or parts of Morty, wanting to, you know, not necessarily go along with what Rick is saying, because he couldn't fully convince everybody to leave. And, you know, we get all the way to the future to where now Marta has a child, and she's like, well, I don't even know if you are part of Morty. You know, and it's like, I just felt like there were, I don't know. It just, I just, it's not that I didn't get it, because I got it. I just didn't really enjoy it.
I respect everything you're saying. Totally disagree with it, but respect it though.
And that's fair. That's 100% fair. Die Hard, everything Die Hard was amazing. Everything about the Die Hard.
Die Hard. She forget everything you know about Die Hard.
So like she walks out. Oh, so I imagine that you have a gun strapped to your back. Why would I have a gun strapped to my back? Because that's what they did in Die Hard. It's like, really? And then she turns it on. She turns it around on him, because she actually does have the gun strapped to her back. I felt like, I don't know. I felt like it was two different writing teams working on this episode. You had like one group of writers working on the Roy storyline. You had one group of writers working on the Die Hard storyline. But the thing about it is, and not to discredit the show in any way, because what makes the show so great is because you can do that. You can have basically, it was like 2 episodes in one. That it really felt like it was 2 separate episodes in one.
Definitely. Right. So we have 3 storylines going on. We have Rick, Morty. You have Morty and Morty. You actually have more. You have Morty versus Morty in trying to convince Morty to leave. The storyline with Rick talking to Morty about trying to convince him to leave. The storyline between Martha and her father, and her defining and identifying on her own choice versus the traditional choice of what's going on. And then we had Die Hard. How many is that? That's 5?
That's 4.
That's 4? Well, you have 4 good storylines weaved into one episode. So, well, I know I said good, and you're like squinting up, but
But I mean,
three
it's
good
not to say
storylines.
it's not to say that people won't enjoy, because like you enjoy the Roy and Life Well Lived part of it, and you know, it's just like I say, it just felt
Oh,
like it was two different writing teams. The energy of both storylines just didn't match, because you're like excited. It's like there's the action packed portion of it for the Die Hard part, and it's action, it's comedy, it's funny. You know, for anyone who watched Die Hard, for anyone who knows Die Hard, you get all the different references and you see the meta commentary about somebody, you know, and they say because every universe has a Die Hard. They may call it different things, but every universe has their version of Die Hard, and it all follows the same structure, the same storyline. And
nice.
so we get that meta commentary about how ridiculous it is. And it is like you get the action, you know, aliens getting squished, people getting shot at or shot, things blowing up, and then we
Right.
jump back into the video game and it's like slowed down because now it's dialogue heavy and the people are talking, and it's just
You
the
know, you know what? I can respect everything that you're saying.
mhm.
And I also want to say there was another storyline with the guy that she shot in the shoulder, and he morphed in, ate
I don't that
God's river. That's 5 storylines. So I just want
and
to
you
cut
know
it up.
in this in 6 storylines, because in the mid credit scene you had him doing Die Hard 3, but instead of the guy holding the sign that says I hate black people, it says I hate everyone. It's like, who's gonna be offended by that?
It's
Everyone.
broad. Everyone's gonna be offended by it.
And
It's
it's
like,
just like, I wish my brother was alive.
and that for me made up for your slow storyline with Roy. Because I don't know, maybe they went to Roy too many times. Because when you watched him originally, you was like blown away. With the fact that Morty had his mind stuck in there, it didn't really kind of jar me. I was like, okay, because there's always something going on. We're
Right.
just,
Morty's always stuck in
I,
something.
well, it's not even just Morty. I mean, remember in the other Dimensional Cable episode, Jerry was in the space hospital. We didn't ask
Yeah.
how he really got there. We just know he was in the space hospital and
Right.
he needed to see a doctor fast. And next thing you know, they wanted to take his manhood
Right.
to save a great man or a great alien.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have made that decision to save the galaxy or the universe or whatever.
But you
That would
you got your choice of a
They-
robotic one.
they would die. I don't want those cybernetic implants. I can like, oh, faithful. We've grown together for many
Hasn't failed me
years.
yet.
Hey, how's it? Well, 1 out of 4. I was waiting to bring that joke back. I was waiting to bring your joke back. Anyway, Rick and Morty. Spider says it ain't shit. So
That is absolutely not what I said.
I thought it was one of the good ones, but you know, I'm not gonna tell Spidey he can't say how he feels, and y'all shouldn't do so either. The man has his opinion, and he said, you know, out of the first 2 episodes, it was a weaker episode. I thought it was Rick and Morty going back to what they're traditionally known for, which was episodic shows that's giving us a little twist. Is it the strongest storyline? No, there's no dragons in this one to soul bond with, and there's no incest babies, but
God
it's
damn, episodes.
it's a new writing team. I know that. So you got to give them a chance to get their feet wet. Hey, Disney keeps stealing their best guys. Well, it's not their best guys, but you know you can clearly see Loki was amazing and it dealt with multiversal things. We also have a new team that's coming in and giving us their best Rick and Morty. I'm here for it, man. I want to see where else they can go because I didn't know they were going to go this way. How are you going to keep everyone interested and still not give away too much of your overall storyline? Because now we have 2 villains. We have Evil Morty, Evil Rick, and we still haven't seen what's going on with Bird Person and his daughter yet. And we haven't seen Mr. Poopy Butthole And it's crazy that I'm saying these names with a straight face. Mr. Hoopy Butthole has to show up there somewhere because he showed up every season.
Yeah. But do we think that Evil Morty is coming back? Because he left the finite curve. And so he attained what he set out to do. Like we said in the last episode, he wanted to go to a universe where Rick was not considered to be the smartest being in the universe. And he achieved that.
He's trying to go into a universe where he's the smartest one.
But do we see him come back? Do we see him come back as a threat? Because what is he coming back for? What else would he need to come back to try to achieve?
This is true because he killed all the Ricks that he knew of.
Right.
And was very comfortable with whether they lived or died at that point because he says he's not evil. He's just, you seen Morty ultimately, which you saw some in this episode, of Morty being sick of Rick shit.
Right. And that's what he said. He's like, I'm not evil. I'm just, I don't want to agree with what you were doing. And so now I'm classified as evil because I don't want to go along with your plan.
And he left the universe where Ricks are no longer in charge. I respect him. Don't count on Morty out. He did what he had to do. Will he come back? Rick better hope not. But I don't think evil Rick is worried about evil Morty coming back.
I don't think so either.
I don't think evil Rick is worried about anything. This dude's self-regeneration is just godly. Because Jerry won last episode.
Jerry got the jump on him. Jerry straight up slit his throat.
And we seen him healed like Deadpool, like ultra fast.
Yeah.
So even with Rick 337
C-137.
That's what I wouldn't have said. I wouldn't have said it clearly because I didn't. So C-137 have a lot of cybernetic implants.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have self-regeneration like that. I mean, kind of like that. We seen him drink potion and have arms come out his body.
Or does he? Have we seen Rick C-137's throat get slashed?
Not throat get slashed. We seen him grow limbs and break his limbs off and grow new limbs, and he has a lot of implants, cybernetic. You've seen his arm stretch. You've seen him do all go-go gadget things. And his lab coat can rip off Doctor Strange. So he's clearly got some things figured out.
Right.
Being the smartest man of his universe. It's Rick and Morty. You know what it is. Season 6. You know what they're doing, Spider? I don't know.
I don't doubt that.
Every episode is not going to be the crown jewel. Some episodes are going to be a little underneath. They got to take, remember what we said about, it's a journey, baby. It's a journey. Can't believe you won't let this episode be super. Just here we go again with these expectations that's just out of this world. Rick and Morty space. Like, woo! Unity! Unity! I want to see more. You know, I don't want to see you. I want to see the Ramulek dude that was trying to court Unity. That Rick's got, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I think so.
Okay, well, him. That guy.
Okay.
I want to see what he's doing.
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
I never doubted you.
It took a second. There was a lot of episodes, man. Well, a lot of episodes. A lot of characters.
So that's what I'm saying.
That has nothing to do with it.
And that had nothing to do with it when I said it the first time. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Rick and Morty. So you didn't like that part. Is there any other parts that you didn't like about the episode?
I mean, we kind of brought it up already, but the dude at the end whose life got changed because he got shot. I used to eat people, but I stopped eating people, and I think this is where all my eating people energy went, and he just transformed and ate the Hans Gruber guy. I mean, not that I didn't like it. It was just kind of like out of left field, but like you said, it's Rick and Morty. They throw stuff at you. It's not always going to make sense. So that part was just like neither here nor there.
And there you go. And next episode, you'll have something else because it's Rick and Morty, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. It's Rick and Morty. That's all I'm saying. I've said a lot.
but like I said, it just felt a little bit. Even though I understand the purpose of what was happening in the video game and how the urgency was that they wanted to get out. So one, I think Rick really was concerned for Morty. He wanted to make sure that he had all parts of him out of the game so he could return back to his full self. I don't doubt that at all. But it just seemed to me it felt disconnected. Even though I know there were two separate storylines, but they were supposed to be joined together because they were trying to get out so they could help Summer because for whatever reason, these dudes came into the arcade. They started taking hostages. They took the one guy. It was like, I want you to show me your safe. It was like, we trade cash for tokens to use for video games. We don't have a safe. Well, you're not going to have a head. And then he shoots it with the tiniest laser.
The laser is just the smallest thing.
Like, why would you give me this small laser?
The guy's
he's like,
I
told him he wasn't going to have a head. He was like, but he's dead now, so
he's dead, so it doesn't really matter. It's disappointing. See,
I don't know. It just everything about the Die Hard part was just, it was like top tier for me. But then it just going back to the Roy storyline, it took me out of it. It's like I was up here and it just deflated me every time we went back to it.
Here's the thing. Let me challenge you on this one.
Okay.
Let's say this. I think you feel this way because you're giving Rick and Morty the A story when their story was the B story, and Die Hard was the A story. If you look at it that way.
If you look at it that way, I mean, it's not that it's going to make the Roy storyline make any more sense, but I feel like if you start with your A storyline. The episode started inside the video game, so that's the thing that we launched the episode off on. So I mean, how can you take that and not see that as a storyline?
Because it's Rick and Morty, baby. These things are backwards, upside down, inside out. You don't know which way they're gonna go. It's Rick and Morty. Rick. Just saying, man. You got to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Why is the cat talking? Get out of Florida. You got to sit back, relax, and let it. Come on down from the expectation heights, Spider. Yeah, I know you can speak well up there, but
it's not having high expectations. Just not like a part of an episode.
Oh no, you can feel the way you feel, how you feel, however you feel. But I'm just saying. You're not giving justice to the full episode of Rick and Morty.
I mean, because the full episode, it wasn't on the same level. The Roy storyline was not on the same level as the Die Hard storyline.
God damn, there's so many people that's involved in making this show great, and it's just like you don't see their hard work. I
acknowledge their hard work. I acknowledge the writing team. I acknowledge their pacing. I acknowledge the fact that we do get some emotional beats because there's a lot of self-discovery with Morty having to convince himself to go back to being with Rick.
Yeah, you're right, because Rick's a shitty grandfather. I mean, he won't even say I love you when you're trying to get the guy out. Like, you could easily just said, Morty, I love you. Let's go home. And everybody would have went. Even when Morty said, I'll get everyone to go, it still wasn't I kind of thought you would come around. So it's just like I just sat here and waited for you. I didn't know you was coming or not, but I knew you were going to die. So it's like, wow, dude, that's a really weird way of... And that's what Rick and Morty's been, right? Even when they had the evil parts of them taken out, they were standing there saying, I know you love your grandson because all that's inside of you is me. And I don't give a shit because that's just the evil side of him. And I can kill him and not feel bad about it because all the good side is over here. So even the evil Rick was like, not that I give a shit, Morty, are you okay? He has a weird way of giving the shit. And it's just, we know he does. So why wouldn't he just have said, I love you? Got Morty's IQ and his brain fragments of molecular digital code into the spaceships and get his mind consciousness out of the game. By the way, I don't want to play Roy anymore. It's not safe.
And then they did the Indiana Jones reference, which, you know, it is what it is, but it seems weird to go from Die Hard to Indiana Jones.
Which area are you referring to?
When they took the Roy video game and put it in a warehouse. That was when they had the Ark of the Covenant and they put it in the warehouse at the end of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And of course, going like you said, it's Rick and Morty. They have these, you know, you can end the scene. You can literally end the scene by him walking into the warehouse and putting the the video game in there. It just stopped it and we have been done. Right. And then they have that extra dialogue and it goes on a little bit longer and you're just like, okay, that's the Rick and Morty. That's the writing that we know of. And it just
yeah, because I think we're not done with this, Martha. Why'd you say that name?
Marta. But she's gonna die eventually. The game is continuing to run, so she's gonna die. I mean, she stayed there to live.
Keep her alive. Yeah, they want to keep it running.
But they said it's keeping it running so she can live out a full life. So at some point, she's gonna die.
If the battery dies.
But I mean, even the game hadn't died. Her dad died because it was like they live a normal human lifespan.
Right. I mean, Roy died.
Yeah, but I'm saying the game doesn't have to die for her to die.
If she's the only one left in there,
then once she dies, the game is over.
Wouldn't she want to die though? Who wants to live a world alone?
I don't know. I
mean, Morty's left. Morty's gone. Yeah. Rick's gone. Your dad died. You're walking. Oh my God! This is why you don't like that episode. It's horrible. Rick is a monster.
I don't know because like I said, I didn't follow it. It didn't.
No, I know what you need.
It didn't work for me.
You need more Die Hard. Rick and Morty season 2. Listen, if you guys like to make sure you. Well, that's what I would have said if I said the right thing. Season 6. Leave your comments down below. Let us know if you need more Die Hard. Listen, you don't know what you're going to get when you come to this show. And I appreciate you guys coming to this show every time that you come because it's just a good time had by all. If you didn't have a good time, I understand. It may not be the show for you, but we like to laugh and enjoy ourselves and talk about things that are super.
No refunds,
and if they aren't, if they're not super, you're more than welcome to share those comments with us. We're just sharing ours with you. And that's all I have to say about that.
But absolutely, leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought about episode 2 of season 6 of Rick and Morty. Let us know what you thought about this episode of us talking about season 6, episode 2 of Rick and Morty. But if you liked the video, go ahead, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that go up. If you want the audio version of the podcast, just search for All Things Super on your major podcast streaming platforms. And if you want to join in on the conversation, you can tweet at us at ATSuperPod.
Man, I want y'all to know Rick and Morty is back. This is the time that you should be watching. And if you're watching this in the future for some odd reason and you're saying, man, those guys are really crazy, you're right.
Yeah, 100%. But you love us, or else you wouldn't be here.
Good times had by all. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next time. Get your cup and sip on that